listening derives the thought, the idea. It puts these words together, and so that's what you're trying to say. And thought is just the opposite. Thought is something which is created within a person himself, within his own intelligence. So when he thinks some idea, the idea has formed in his mind before it came into thought. Into thought. Anything, yeah. Thought in the form of this is one obvious difference. Speech, the oisies, the letters, the language, the form is very much obvious. It plays a very great role in it, because that's how you communicate. Thought and the whole idea that comes through speech is only through the oisies, after the oisies. In thought, it goes the other way. For example, a person is hungry. Does he think in terms, I'm hungry? Does he become aware of it, that he's hungry because he knows the words, I'm hungry? No. He knows that he is hungry whether he has a language or he doesn't have language. Whether he knows how to express it or not. That's something which is inherently known to him. From this knowledge, he thinks into it and he says, I'm uncomfortable about it. Why am I uncomfortable about it? Oh, I'm hungry. Or if somebody says, you don't look good. Why? So you start thinking, oh, I'm hungry. So then the oisies come after the idea. And all oisies express an idea. Okay? Now, so here we clearly see the categorical difference between thought and speech. Even though both are contained in oisies, but there's a very important categorical difference. Thought is a reflection of what's going on in the nefesh of the person higher than speech, from a higher source. Thought contains, so to speak, impressions and messages and sensitivities that come from the nefesh directly, much higher than speech, than oisies. And the oisies, only when a person focuses in and tries to really understand a certain idea, that's when he begins to think in terms of letters or words. He wants to have a clarity of certain thing. But the idea itself flows not from the oisies, it flows from a much higher, from the nefesh itself. The idea, this pure idea, as it flows from the nefesh itself, before it's contained in oisies, it's very pure. It is entirely a nefesh message, a nefesh element. It's true only to the nefesh. In the world, it is not known at all. It's not known externally, and it's not known. There's no way to show it. There's nothing to show. It's all spiritual. In the nefesh, he has that element. So that even after that, this idea actually becomes part of thought, which means he actually focuses into it, and he gets to know what it is that he has deep down in his nefesh. It is still known in a very pure way, in a way that is not really fully described in letters, in words, like in speech. Very often we think to ourselves, whatever our thoughts are, maybe very profound, very thought, all these things that we feel, that we believe in, what we are experiencing, and you ask somebody, what are you thinking about? Say, I really don't know. Why does he know you're thinking about? Because to know what I'm thinking about, the thought has to be already in words. And I never brought it on, I never focused in it, never brought it down into words. This thought right now is at a level higher than words. It's on a personal level, on a life level. Therefore, that whole world of thought is called Alma de Iskasio. It's a whole world. It's not like there's a higher level than thought, where it's not a world. But this is a world because there are many different things that occur in that thought. And many different things a person lives over, so to speak, lives through in his own thought, and he makes decisions on that basis without even him knowing that he's making the decisions. It's a whole world, but it's a hidden world. The reason, so again, you see, I want to discuss it, the hidden world, not because he's hiding it. It hasn't come down to the point where it can be fully known. It's still part of the nefesh, part of the truth of his own neshama.
Possible that I asked somebody what you're thinking about, and he said, I don't know, like I forgot, and then this time he's made some decision that he's going to do, and he didn't realize it, he didn't remember it.
That, generally speaking, once it comes to that level, making a decision, he is much more aware of it. But when he's thinking on a higher level, let's say, generally speaking, a person comes from outside into Chabad house, and he doesn't know exactly what this is all about, but he's very impressed. And he can't put it into perspective, he can't put it into words what he's impressed. He's very impressed. See, something is happening, something is going on that really impresses him, that's living. He's not thinking in terms of words or letters. He's just thinking in terms of how he is experiencing it. And this is called Amudis Kasya. Amudis Kasya, as we can see even from this brief discussion, is much superior to Amudis Galia. For one thing, Amudis Kasya is direct flow from that which is higher than world altogether. Why is a person impressed with something spiritual? Because it touches his nefesh. Nefesh is even higher than world altogether. Nefesh is his own truth. Something touches the nefesh, so there is a gili, a hamshocha, an emanation from the nefesh. And that is what comes into machshava. All right. So what we were saying is that this process where from Amudis Casio is drawn down into Amudis Galio, is called Brocha. Because it reveals, it draws, and the Brocha means Hamavrech as Agefen, as we said, it reveals, it draws out that which is contained in this higher level, in this concealed level. Again, what concealed is subtle. Concealed sounds like you're concealing it. You're not concealing anything. It's just at the level where it cannot be known. It's very close to the nefesh. You know it because you're a living human being, not because your body experiences anything. Okay, now we are going to continue on the third line from the top of page Zion. The line starts Sheyumshach min ho'elam di amadis kasi amadis gali, and this is where we start. V'zehu gamkein, yeah. V'zehu gamkein. This too is pointed to in Pirush. Is the meaning of the words Baruch she'omar v'hoya ho'elam. Just 1 second, please. 1 second. Shachar, I'm not home right now. My wife may be home, maybe not. I have to talk to you later. Okay? I should be home by 6:30. If that's okay with you. Okay. Thanks a lot. Thank you. Baruch Pirush Baruch she'omer v'hoya ho'elam. This is the meaning of what we're saying every day. Baruch she'omer v'hoya ho'elam. What is Baruch means to draw down? What are we drawing down? She'omar v'hoya ho'elam. What's the pshat? So the pshat is azay. The ma she'omar kvar. She'omar is loshen over, past tense. That which already said from before. V'hoya ho'elam. And the world came to be. Bebchinas yesh me'ayin. The world came to be in a manner of yesh me'ayin. What is pshat? The world came to be in yesh me'ayin. The Hainu, which means the Bechinas Hel and Hester. At first, it was a world Bechinas Hel and Hester in a concealed manner. Because when you say She'omar, Omar means that he brought it down to be revealed in speech. And what world is he bringing down in speech? The world that was first created, b'bchinas yesh me'ayin. The Hainu b'chinas hela v'hester, ad shenire liyesh v'dova nifrod. And it being drawn down to the point where it became a real presence, a dova nifrod, a separate entity. Shezeho ma shenizhavo mibchinas asoro ma'amoris. What is this world that became a real mitzias, a real dova nifrod, a separate entity? This is what was created from the Asora Ma'amoros, the 10 utterances. Uklolusam, which are all included, Hu Bechinas Maimer Echad. All right. This whole Inyan, let me first explain that it came into being Yesh Me'ayin. Yesh Me'ayin means actually that it came from Ayin, from Amodi Iskasio, to Yesh, to a state of being, Amodi Isgalio. So, Ayin is the union from Helen Vehester. And then it came down, She'omar, it came down into a state, Shenire, Achenire, Yeshudova Nifrot. This is the pshat, that She'omar, V'hoye ho'elam, that which was there, oilam, in a concealed way, and now Omar, now it came down into becoming a revealed world. What was the world? What world was created there? This is the world that was created in Asora Ma'amoros, the 10 utterances. And then Uklolusam Hu Bechinas Maimer Echad, which were all included in that which is called Bechinas Maimor Echad. What is this Maimor Echad? The Maimor Echad, this is an allusion to a Mishnah. The Mishnah says, Maimor Echad Yochel Hiboris. It could have been created with Maimor Echad. This Maimor Echad, this is, as we're going to see, this is the Machshava, this is what includes all the Ma'amoros. Shehu Bechinas Mokoir Amodi Iskasio. This Maimor Echad is the aspect of Mokoir, the source, which is the Amodi Iskasio, which is the concealed world. Ukiodua, and as is known, the Maimor Echad Hu Bechinas Machshava. Maimor Echad, this is the Machshava element. Shalzeh Omar, regarding this Maimor Echad, it says, Machshava, it says, Maimor Echad Yochel Hiboris. It could be created by Maimor Echad. What does that mean? Shebe'emes, because in truth, Nivra Maimor Echad. In truth, everything was created in this Maimor Echad. Meshukosub b'mokim acher is explained elsewhere. What was created? Maimor Echad. Why was it 10 Ma'amoros afterwards? Hainu, bechinas Amod Yiskasya Shameir Shom bechinas Sevukulam. This Maimor Echad, this is where the whole world is contained in Machshava, in Amod Yiskasya. So this is Baruch She'omar v'hoye ho'elam. She'omar v'hoye ho'elam. The hoye ho'elam, this is the original, this is the Asora Ma'amoros, and the original state of that is the Maimor Echad, is Machshava. And all that has to come down into Baruch. What is Baruch means that all that has to be revealed. Hu Baruch b'vchinas gilui oir min ha'helem. Now this Almodi Iskasio comes begilui from concealed state. Hainu I'm sorry. Alidei bechinas hispoilos elokus v'klolos and shomas Yisrael. This hamshocha, when you say that there is that brocha is mamshich from Amudi Iskasin to Amudi Isgalio, the hamshocha from Amudi Iskasin to Amudi Isgalio. Let me go back again to the discussion of thought and speech. Now, in thought, we realized that in thought there is the real sense of chayas, of nefesh, right? We think in terms of the inyan that the nefesh experiences. In speech, that comes down into words. However, the principle of bringing thought into speech is not to strip the thought completely from the chayas of the nefesh, strip, to take away, and leave it completely dry, only that which the speech is able to contain. Like, for example, we said before that in speech, you speak the words, and the person who listens to the words takes from the words the idea. But if he were to listen to the words and take from the words just the words, then you're giving him nothing. The idea is not to take the words. It is as through the words he would get the idea. This is the pshat that thought comes into speech. Not that you take the thought and completely take away the thought element and the shoma element of it, and you make a dry speech out of it. Then the speech has not an element of thought in it, of chayas. The idea of bringing the thought into speech means that you bring the chayas that's in the thought, you megale it in the speech. But then the speech contains that same idea, that same richness. This is the pshat to be megala amudi iskasi and amudi isgalio. Not that you have an amudi isgalio without any input from amudi iskasi. This is the pshat Baruch. It said Baruch, that you mamshich from amudi iskasio into amudi isgalio. What are you mamshich? The amudi iskasio aspect. But you're mamshich it into amudi isgalio, that this life element should also be recognized in amudi isgalio.
Could be if it's something the only discuss is so intangible. How could one reveal it? For example, the thought that the person cannot even put into words. How could he reveal it to somebody else? And the person will be able through the words to get the same idea that the guy originally had.
You present it in such a way. This is like anything that, for instance, what we're learning here, anything that a Rav teaches a Talmud. So if he were to be teaching him just the external, the chitzonius, he would not be giving him anything. He's trying to give him the whole insight. Except he gives it to him in a manner that he can take it piecemeal, step by step. But eventually, through the step by step, he takes in the entire richness of it. Otherwise, he hasn't given him nothing.
All the purpose of the speech is to reveal the thought.
To reveal the thought, exactly right.
It's the whole idea of the.
Right. Okay. So this which was created to Asora Ma'amoris, first it was in Machshava, in Maimer Echot. And then it should become Baruch. Who Baruch? What means who Baruch? This right after the parentheses. You know what I'm up to, right? Bebchinas Gilui Oir, it comes in a revealed way, min ha'helem, from a concealed stand, from Amadi Iskasio, and it's revealed, alidei bechinas his poilus elokus, the clothes Neshamas Yisrael. Because Neshamas Yisrael are here in the world, and they experience here in this world the union of elokus. As a result of that, there is Gilui Elokus in the world.
Yeah,
The clothes in Shom Yisrael, right.
Who is having Paulus? The Neshamas Yisrael?
The Neshamas Yisrael have his spoilers Elokus here in this world. As a result of that, they are Baruch, they are bringing down the Amadi Iskasio into Amadi Isgali. Bringing down Elokus into the world.
Should like work up when you feel the Elokus, then you spoil.
No, Neshamas is... okay, what's your question?
Why? So it follows Elokud the class, or normally they Chinas it follows Elokud the class Neshamas Yisrael. Okay. So when the Neshamas Yisrael have it follows, it's bring down the Alma Iskasio.
That's right, into the world.
Because they send the Alma Isgali.
ולפי זה צריך להימר. We'll go through this Indian and then we'll discuss a little bit more in detail. ולפי זה צריך להימר, according to this we have to say that מה שאומר, מה שכוסף שאומר, that when it says Baruch she'omar, what is she'omar referred to? Hainu asora ma'amoris. She'omar refers to the Asora Ma'amoris of the world. And Baruch v'his Borchu, and these Asora Ma'amoris should be blessed, mehelem el hagilui, that they should come forth from Helem Hagil, from Amadi Iskasio, in Amadi Isgalio, mebechinas maimor echod. From the Madriga of maimor echod, which means like this. Originally, the Asora Ma'amoris are contained in this Maimer Echod in Machshava. As we said, it's contained in Machshava. And Baruch She'omar means that we are drawing down the Asora Ma'amoris from the state that they are contained in Maimer Echod, we bring them down that they should be revealed. וגם יש לימר, it can also be explained, the hamshocha hi milmailo gam mibchinas maimer echut. That this hamshocha, Baruch, is a hamshocha that comes even from higher, that which is maimer echut. Now, Ze Omar, and on this, for this he says, Baruch she'omar, the Asora Ma'amoris. She'omar is Asora Ma'amoris, she'klo lusom hu maimer echot. That this, the whole, all Asora Ma'amoris, including the maimer echot, Yizborech, he should be blessed, Me'eirin son Baruch hu shalamayla mebchinas amir. That the hamshocha should be higher than amira bichlal. Fine, amira is the Asora Ma'amoris and also the Maimer Echod. And this hamshocha should be from that which is higher than the Maimer Echod. Eirin Yisod Baruch Hu Shalamayla M'chinas Amira, Gam M'chinas Maimer Echod. All right, this was a pretty difficult little piece. Let's just try to put it in context of what we were learning before, and then we'll be able to kind of relate to it. The principle that we were learning before was that in the Neshamas Yisrael, by Neshamas, doing his boinanus and in Elokus, and becoming his spoilers, and becoming and bringing Elokus in their own experience, they are affecting the Nefesh Abamis and affecting the whole world. And thereby bringing Elokus into the world. So then he says that Baruch She'omar V'ho Yeho'elam carries the similar message. That there is the world and the Asora Ma'amoris, and even higher than the Maimer Echod, which is Machshava, and Baruch, all that is affected, all that is elevated through Neshamas Yisrael when they have the spoilers in Holocaust. All right, let's just continue. V'al shum zeh nikroim Neshamas Yisrael b'shem brocha. This is why Neshamas Yisrael are called brocha. Why is Neshamas Yisrael called brocha? As it says, Zera Beirech Havaya. That's a posik in Tanakh. That Neshamas Yisrael are called Zera Beirech Havaya. A Zera seed that Hashem blessed. And the reason they are called brocha mipnei shalid yodom mizborech v'nimshach Shem Havaya. Because through them, the Shem Havaya is nimshach, is drawn, which is called brocha, mehelem legilui, from a concealed state to a revealed state. V'zeh shekosov al Neshamas Yisrael. And this is also what it says regarding Neshamas Yisrael, shehein tchilas ma'asecha. But the Neshamas Yisrael are tchilas ma'asecha, are the beginning of creation. And the reason they're called tchilas ma'asecha mipnei, because shal yodom nishlam, because through them is completed tachlis hamkuvom bibrias ho'elam, the ultimate purpose in creation of the world. Shehoya hakavono, when the kavona in creation of the world was sheyiyeh leyizborech dira betachtenim, that there should be a dira for a lakus betachtenim, a dwelling place. And how will there be dira behind us sheyiyeh gila lakus lamato dafka, that the Gilui Elokus will be over here below. This is accomplished through Neshomas Yisrael only b'kiyum atero mitzvahs, by them fulfilling Tero mitzvahs. Okay, this is going back to the beginning of the Maimer, where we asked, why is the Rosh Hashanah, which is the day of creation of Odom Rishon, why is that day called Tchilas Maasecha, the beginning? And the explanation is because that is when the fulfillment of that original purpose is accomplished by Neshomas Yisrael, by Odom Rishon's creation. There's so much put in here together. It's going to be discussed more in detail as we go. But Neshomas Yisrael, all of b'machshava. Neshomas Yisrael, they have a reason. They are rooted in thought. B'chinas hamechin, k'mei sheyizboyer, as will be explained. Lochein. Therefore, this is why Neshomas Yisrael, through their Aveda and Teiro Mitzvahs, mamshichim bechinas gilui elokus lamato mato. They can bring elokus here below to the lowest level. V'zehu she'omar, and this is what the Posuk says. Rabbi saying that in Zeh hayem tchilas ma'asecho. This day is the beginning of your deed. Shemamshichim b'chinas zeh begilui bo'elam. Because in Neshomas Yisrael, they bring into the world the aspect what's called Zeh. And what is Zeh? Zeh is called Gilui Bo'elam. Gilui means revelation in the world.
And so they're trying to down level Zeh, which is what? Which is the Gilui of Elkos?
Right, Gilui Elkos. Okay, I had to go through this as a quick because a lot of little things that are being put together will open them up as we go through. All right, so this is sort of concluding a certain introduction. Because we started in the beginning of the Maimon, we started in the Yom Zeh Hayem Tchilas Maasecha. And we asked the question, how has come this is Zeh Hayem Tchilas Maasecha? Why is this a beginning? And the answer is because this is the ultimate purpose of creation. And in explaining why is this the ultimate purpose of creation, so we're saying that because that in the Sabbath is how do Neshomas Yisrael accomplish this? They accomplished this by the fact that the Neshama came down into the Guf, and there in this world, through his boinanus in worldly matters, it recognizes Elokus. Right? When his spoilers in the Elokus of Seva Kulam and Malu Kulam, through that, the inner of Elokus is ninshach into the world. And this is called Broch. Baruch Havai Ma'yolam Ado'ilam and so forth. And the word Zeh Hayim Tchilas Maasecha means Zeh, the word Zeh, as it touches now, Zeh, the word Zeh means pointing a finger, this. When you say you're pointing a finger, it means that this scene is completely revealed. You can directly point a finger at it. So there's no concealment, it's totally revealed. And therefore this points out that Neshamas Yisrael brings the union of Gilui, of revelation into the world, which is the union from Zeh. Now we're going to explain this more definitively. Let's go a little bit further so we'll have something that we can put, so to speak, our thoughts into. The Omer Hazal. The Chazal say, Kol hanevim nisnabu b'koi. All Nevi'im said their nevuah, nisnabu, they said their nevuah, but using the expression of koi. Koi means like this, thusly. Koi is indirect. Koi means like the chof, like you say, k'moi, like, similar to, not exactly this, but something like this. This is koi. Kol anvim nisnabu b'koi. Moshe v'aleim Moshe. Moshe went beyond them, beyond all the Nevi'im. Shenisnabo b'zeh. But Moshe Rabbeinu was nisnabo also b'zeh. Moshe Rabbeinu said, Zeh hadover. Zeh hadover, this is meaning pointing directly to the Inyan. It's a different kind of nevuah than koi that is only similar to.
We have in this parsha, Neman b'chol b'isi, v'choy Moshe Neman
Right. Kol beis and Neman hu. And then he says in parentheses, Moshe nisnabu b'koi gamkin. Moshe was also said nevuah b'koi. Ukmei kosu, the Pasuk says, Koi Omar Havai, Koi Omar Hashem. Kachatzois halayla, again, kachatzois, with the koi. He said, as such, uksiv, and it says in the Pasuk also, v'choi sa'asa lahem l'taharom. In today's parsha again, v'choi sa'asa lahem l'taharom. Like this, he should do to the Levim l'taharom to bring him tahara. Doesn't say zeh ta'asa lahem. It says koi tasala, which again means that Moshe was nisnabe b'koi. Or Moisif oid, but in addition to that, Moshe Rabbeinu also shenisnabe b'zeh, that he also said nevuah with the expression of zeh. What is the difference between koi and zeh? Pirush. Koi hu bechinas malchus da'atzilus. Koi is the inyan, what's called Malchus Atzilus. Okay, before we go there, let me just explain in general. This is going to be what's that Malchus Atzilus. You know that there are 10 spheres, starting from Chochmah on down to Chochmah Bina V'das, and then there are 6 midos, Chesed, Gvura, Tiferes, Netzach, Heid, and Yesod. This is the general structure. And on the bottom of that, there is Malchus. Malchus, generally speaking, if we're talking, Malchus refers to speech. Now, just like by a person, what comes down in speech? What does a person speak? First, he has to have chokhmah, bina, v'das. Then he has to have all the midas of chesed, gvura, tiferes. Everything goes through this entire process of chokhmah, bina, v'das, and all the midas. Then it comes out in speech. Then it comes out in malchus. Let me, again, this we'll discuss in Mitzvah next time more definitively, but the principle of malchus, you say, my principle of malchus is speech. There's a difference between the speech of malchus and, let's say, the speech of chokhmah. Chokhmah also speaks, bina also speaks. But there's a difference, like we say, a chacham, a teacher speaks, and a melech speaks. But there's a big difference between the speech of a melech and the speech of a chacham. If a rav or a teacher speaks, and explaining a certain idea, he has to explain this idea in a way that the listener should be able to understand. He has to break it down and bring out now what's convincing, showing the inyan how this is correct and so forth. This is the speech from a rav. A melech, when a melech speaks, it's a completely different speech. A melech makes a statement, and he does not need to explain it and substantiate it and prove it and make sense of it. He makes a statement, and that is his whole speech. Now, if a melech is making a statement like that, and he doesn't substantiate it, so what does that mean? He's just dictating? He's not really giving anything? Just making a statement? Giving out a decree? So how is that revealing anything? He's not giving anything. And the answer is it's not true. Even though the speech of a melech is brief and to the point, not like a rav who is explaining himself, but in this speech, in this brief speech that the melech gives, he gives the entire power of the whole inyan that he is producing through this speech. Remember when we talked about the mashal of a soldier on the front line, and he is able to stand all the pressures because there's a melech behind him. So in the speech of the melech, he is giving not just the idea, but he is giving his very power, the power of the melech himself. This is called the malchus, the speech of the melech. The rav is teaching him his seichel. The melech is not just giving him his seichel, he's giving them power of the melech, the presence of the melech.
So when a teacher speaks, so
me?
So when the teacher speaks to the student, so he's not giving off the power of the teacher?
No, he's not giving the power of the teachers. He is giving them the seichel as he explains it to the Talmud, and if the Talmud is very careful, he can also sense the seichel as the Rav understands it himself. But still, all in the seichel aspect, not in the actual personality, actual presence of the person himself.
So why is there a difference?
Huh?
So why is there this difference? I'm saying, so what makes the king offensive? Why does the king have this power to be able to give over himself?
Oh. Very briefly, and maybe next time we'll fill in. The king has what's called a completely different approach to things. In a person, as we said before, we have 10 koiches, right? Starting from Chochmah and Bina and so forth else. Above all the koiches, there is what's called the Keser. The Keser represents the very essence of the nefesh. All the people, even the Rav, and everything comes from his nefesh. But the nefesh stays, the makif stays above. And what he gets is that which trickles down through his seichel and midas. The melech, he is directly connected to the keser. That's what's called keser malchus. That's why a melech, one way, how do you current a king? You put a keser on his head to indicate that he functions directly on the keser level rather than on the seichel level. So he sees things directly from a completely higher level perspective, from an essential, from a keser level. This is why melech is not everybody can be a melech. Everybody has a midas malchus, but that's in his own, in the malchus that expresses his seichel. But the Niyah Malchus that expresses his very essence, the very essence of truth, that is only the Niyah HaMelech. And particularly by Eden, Malchus David, he has inherited this inyan of Malchus, which is an inherent element in David and his descendants.
Especially a matana.
Strictly a matana, right? Well,
It
was zeicha through Mesilas Nefesh.
About a physical king, you can't say that.
Huh?
And you could say that by a physical king, that he gets his kingship because of Mesilas Nefesh that he had.
By what?
Could you say that same thing for a physical king? That
physical?
He becomes king because of his Mesilas Nefesh?
No, not necessarily. No.
Right.
The Rambam says beferish that others can be kings, but they cannot be kings in this inherent way. They can be kings. Eden, I'll coronate them, they become a king. Well, they're not kings by birth. They're kings by appointment. Kings by birth, this is in Malchus Beis David.
Right. So when you said that, when the king gives over his essence to the person, right? So that's only referring to some specific kings. It's referring to some specific kings, not to every single king. Is it? Or is it referring to every single king?
The Derech Klal, say Malchus Beis David were all kings in a real thing. Then there was the Malachim from Ephraim, from Beis then there was the Malchus Israel. These were also kings al Pidin, but they didn't have this element of Malchus that David had. All right. We'll meet some next time.